Assalamualaikum Indri, mungkin bisa mulai Indri. Udah jam 1 nih.
Baik Pak. Ya. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay. First of all, thanks to the Almighty Allah who given us an opportunity to having this moment in good condition, as well as health despite the pandemic issue we are currently facing. I'm Indri Supriyani, a student of Magister Science of Islamic Economics, Universitas Airlangga, and I'm pleased to be your Master of Ceremony into this webinar. The title of this webinar is Waqf Innovation. This webinar aims to evaluate the current Waqf innovation and its prospect via Islamic financial institution in selected countries. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to share the share screen. Okay. Okay. We are glad to appreciating and welcoming all of the participants in this webinar. For your additional information, there are more than 200 participants who came from 11 countries which are joining this seminar right now. There are from Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia, Belgium, and Nigeria. Selamat pagi, selamat siang teman-teman. You can send us directing by clicking the reaction button, neither by clapping your hand or give us your thumbs up if you are already with us right now. And also we have from select participants from Bangladesh, Afghanistan, Syria, and Dupahar Salam for the participants from Pakistan, and Magandang Hapon for Philippines participants, and Subab Prahen for the participants from India. Before we jump into the main agenda, let me announce all of you several important rules for this webinar. Zoominar's rules part 1, the participants' microphone must be turned off, and then participants' cameras will be turned on. Please use your full name for Zoom accounts, and then participants may use Zoominar's official background. It is optional, and Zoom links is only for the registered participants, and the YouTube link for the public participants. Moreover, e-certificate is only given for participants who have registered in the Google form and joined the WhatsApp group, and the question can be asked in public chat by Zoom and YouTube. And the ninth, speaker's lecture material will be given before 6 p.m. Indonesian time by WhatsApp group. And the last one, e-certificate download link will be given within 7 days by WhatsApp group. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the question formats must include certain information such as name, affiliation, and to whom the question is addressed. Once again, for all the excellent participants, welcome to this webinar. There is an exciting afternoon planned, including what we have known will be a wonderful lecturer from Associate Professor Dr. Asmak Abdurrahman. Please welcome Professor Dr. Asmak from University of Malaya, Malaysia, and followed by our superb Professor Raditya Sukmana, Universitas Airlangga, Indonesia. And the speakers will be accompanied by our special lecturer, Mr. Bayu Arifianto, PhD from Airlangga University. This is our agenda for this afternoon webinar. First, the introduction of Islamic Economics Department profile, and then Quran recitation by Mr. Saifin. And the third presentation sections will be presented by Professor Dr. Asmak Abdurrahman for 45 minutes long. And then the section 2 will be presented by Professor Raditya Sukmana for 45 minutes long. And also, there will be an opportunity for the question for participants. And in order to do so, the participants should write the questions in public chat column, both Zoom platform and YouTube. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's turn into the first schedule, Quran recitation. Mr. Safiin, time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. مثل الذين ينفقون أموالهم في سبيل الله كمثل حبة أنبتت 7 سنابل في كل سنبلة 100 حبة والله يضاعف لمن يشاء والله واسع عليم. الذين ينفقون أموالهم في سبيل الله ثم لا يتبعون ثم لا يتبعون ما أنفقوا منا ولا أذى لهم أجرهم عند ربهم ولا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون ولا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون صدق الله العظيم. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Masya Allah. Thank you for Mr. Safi'in for the beautiful recitation of the Quran. Hopefully, it pointed out the key points of the topic which will be discussed in our webinar. Moving to the next agenda, Islamic Economics Department of University Erlangga has 3 degrees program, includes Bachelor of Islamic Economics and International Undergraduate Program, Master of Science in Islamic Economics, and Doctoral Program in Islamic Economics. The Department of Islamic Economics at Universitas Erlangga is the pioneer of the Islamic Economics program in public university in Indonesia, and it also achieved AAA of accreditation. Moreover, Universitas Erlangga also achieved as the leading edge of Islamic economic campus in 2017. The award was given by Ikatan Ahli Ekonomi Islam or Islamic Economic Experts Association in Indonesia, and Islamic Economics Department keeps building science culture to disseminate the research results and lecturers and students. One of the efforts was to join the Science Forum and to international journal. Other efforts were to dispatch the Islamic Economics Department students to join the student exchange program in many universities worldwide. Furthermore, the Islamic Economics Department of Universitas Erlangga became the first university to manage Waqf fund. The Indonesian Waqf Board issued a decree to approve Waqf management to Universitas Erlangga Social Fund Manager Center, or well known as PUSPA, in 2018. The agreement made University of Erlangga the first university as Waqf manager. The achievement and efforts made by Islamic universities made by Islamic Economics Department has led us to reach A rank accreditation by National Accreditation Body of Higher Education, or well known as BANPT. And then we are also accredited by the guidelines of business and education and courses for tomorrow 21 based in the international stage. The excellent participants, the Department of Islamic Economics has a part-time and full-time inbound student programs. So at this moment, our international students are coming from Malaysia, Philippines, Syria, Thailand, and Pakistan. So we are glad to invite all of you, if you have time to pursue an Islamic educational, please join and visit the Economics Department of Universitas Airlangga. Ladies and gentlemen, for your information, at present, the Department of Islamic Economics, Faculty of Economics and Business, Airlangga University, has 4 study centers. The first one is Center of Islamic Social Finance Intelligence. The second one is Center for Halal Industry Digitalization, and Center for Socioeconomics Islamic Boarding School, and also Center for Innovative Islamic Investment and Capital Market. This webinar is a part of our webinar series under Center of Islamic Social Finance Intelligence, and the schedule for the 3 next webinars will be informed in group WhatsApp. For your information, ladies and gentlemen, the specific programs for Center of Islamic Social Finance Intelligence is 1, conducting advanced studies in endowments and zakah. The second one is consulting in endowments and zakah institution, resolving advanced issues relating to endowments and zakah. And the last one is building a strong network with reputable endowments and zakah institution, both with international and local regulators. Dear audience, ladies and gentlemen, as we have finished our opening, to lead the next session, I would like to invite Mr. Bayu Arifianto, PhD, to moderate the webinar. And I'm Indri, would like to say thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Okay, thank you, Indri. And Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Allahumma sholli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. Welcome to all participants in today's webinar. So this is our first webinar series hosted by Islamic Economic Department, Faculty of Economic and Business, Universitas Airlangga. So we will have more series of webinars. Please follow our news and information. So for today's webinars, the topic is Waqf innovation, and this topic is very crucial, especially in this pandemic or crisis era, as we know that Waqf is part of Islamic social finance that support or encourage people to donate an asset or cash that will benefit for the society. As we know, the utilization of Waqf assets or Waqf fund will give usufruct or income for people, especially for the needy or poor people. And we know that the SDGs goals, there are some goals that also want to reduce poverty, no hunger, and this also parallel with the SDGs goals. And in this era, this pandemic era, this is very important to have government in order to support the people. So we really support to give Waqf, because Waqf is very flexible. As we know, Waqf fund is very flexible comparing to others Islamic social finance such as zakah. Yeah. So the utilization of Waqf in this era could be for the hospital or education, or to support government in order to solve the issue of pandemic, and after the pandemic, in order to help people to survive or to get back to the economy. So with us today, we have 2 prominent speakers. First is Professor Asma from University of Malaya, and Prof. Raditya Sukmana from Universitas Airlangga. And I noticed our participants have a various background. I noticed some of you working for the Waqf institution, Zakah institution, and a lecturer, academic staff, students, and also parliament. So working in the parliament. So it's very interesting for today's webinar series. And we also have participants from overseas that has been mentioned by Miss Indri from Pakistan, from India, and from Philippines, from Thailand, Singapore. So welcome to our webinar series. So our first speaker for today that I've been mentioned, Associate Professor Dr. Asma Abdul Rahman. So I will share. So actually, she has a long CV, so I only picked the very short one. So Prof. Asma is the head of department in Department of Sharia and Economics, Academy of Islamic Studies, University of Malaya, and for her qualification, PhD in Islamic Economics from Magister of Science from and Bachelor of Science from And her area of expertise is in Takaful, Islamic Economics, Islamic Banking, Economics of Waqf. And her current position is head of department, and many experiences from Prof. Asma, published many books, chapters, and articles in peer-reviewed journals for the topics in Takaful, Waqf as well, Islamic Economic and Islamic Banking. And she is also consultant for several institutions from Bank Negara Malaysia until the Waqf institution in Malaysia. Actually, more than 50 institutions that she has been consulted. So I think this is the short CV from Prof. Asma. So the rules for today, please use the chat and comment features in Zoom and YouTube to ask questions during the presentation. Then after the presentation, we will try to give speakers time to respond to your questions. So I think without further ado, I will hand it over to Prof. Asma to present her materials. Please, Prof. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
Thank you, Dr. Budi.
Salam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Universitas Selangor for inviting me to this international webinar conference. I'm honored platform for that Radia and also for this event. So I would like to correct some information, which is actually I am not the consultant for Bank Negara Malaysia, but I engage with Islamic banks, okay, and my degree and my master's in Sharia and Economics, okay. So can I have my own slide? Can I share my own slide?
Yes, madam.
Pak Eko, slide-nya Prof. Asma, Pak Eko.
Okay, I share my own slide.
Oh, okay. Sorry to interrupt.
So is this my screen?
Yes, I can see you. Your slide.
Yes, Prof.
Okay. But I cannot move it. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And thank you for participants and all the committee of the conference for inviting me. So today I will be talking about Waqf innovation via Islamic financial institutions in Malaysia, current evaluation and future prospect. So as mentioned by Dr. Budi just now, when we talk about Waqf, then it is being considered as one of the social finance. Okay, so that's why when I prepare this slide, I want to bring you to go through and understand first. When we talk about Waqf innovation through or via Islamic financial institutions, we have to understand that both have different motivation. Okay, because by understanding this motivation, we can understand how innovate or what are the innovation that being innovated by the Islamic financial institutions or by the Waqf managers, the success of this Waqf project or the success to acquire or to establish Waqf asset, it depends much on the participation from us, from the public. So if you understand why we participate in Waqf project, why we want to contribute to any Waqf establishment, okay, we have to understand that this motivation is purely because of our belief to our religion. And this is really a voluntary act. This is sunnah, which is we get nothing by we contributing to Waqf project.
Sorry, Prof. Asma. Could you please louder, please, the sounds? I think some participant cannot hear you. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry. So, I think, is it clear now? Because I don't have the microphone.
Still the same. Yeah, maybe louder. Just, yeah.
Okay. Okay, I try to come near to my...
Okay, yeah, laptop, yes. Oh, please.
Okay,
Thank
so when we want to see either the Waqf innovation, okay, innovated by the Islamic financial institutions, first, is there any takers from the public? Are we contributing to this project, to the success of this project? Because whatever the innovation that been done by Islamic financial institutions, it will not be successful. Otherwise, there are participation from us, from the public. Okay, and like I mentioned earlier, the benefit of contributing to the Waqf project is not for us, okay, because the user fraud of Waqf is for others, okay, mawquf alai. So it may be for the poor group or the public at large, okay. But from another perspective, when we participate in Islamic financial institutions, like it be Islamic banking or takaful or Islamic capital market, we involved in this sector because we want to avoid riba, gharar and maisir. But at the same time, we still get something, we still get benefit. Okay, so for example, if we put our money or deposit our money through investment account at the Islamic bank, we will get the profit sharing, or we will get the hibah from the deposit based on the wadi'ah account. Meaning we get something. Okay, so that's why the innovation that we will be talking about, it have to be linked and it have to be supported by the public, by us, okay, in ensuring that the innovation will be successful. Okay, and then to give a background, the innovation that can be done in the Malaysian perspective, it have to be in line with the governance and legal framework. So for Waqf in Malaysia, so I believe it also similar in Indonesia and other part of the world, which is in Malaysia we have Waqf is the sole trustee under the State Islamic Religious Council, meaning the Waqf matter is under the religious state, the council of the each state, and whatever the innovation that will be taken by Islamic financial institution, by the Islamic Bank or by the Takaful, it have to get the permission, the consent or the collaboration with the State Islamic Religious Council. This is the governance framework, this is the law, and it has to be respected based on the law of the land. Okay, so that's why when the Islamic financial institution want to propose any product, okay, they have to collaborate or get consent from the Islamic Religious Council. And for each state, they have their specific law, okay, to govern the Waqf matters. Okay, so it is under the administrative of the Islamic law, and few states they have specific enactment on Waqf. So this law govern how Waqf being managed in Malaysia. Okay, and at the federal level, we have Jabatan Waqf Zakat dan Haji, but the Jabatan Waqf Zakat dan Haji is only the facilitator, and they do not have the power because the power is within the state. Okay, and for Islamic financial institutions, they have to obey, they have to adhere with the law which govern the Islamic financial institution, which is for banking and takaful. They are under Islamic Financial Services Act 2013, and for Islamic capital market, it is under Capital Markets and Services Act 2007, and there are amendment until 2018. So to give you the perspective is that the combination or the development or the innovation of Waqf through Islamic financial institution have to go through this process, which is to be in line with the law and also the governance structure that we have in Malaysia. And without Islamic financial institution, each state which are the sole trustee of Waqf or the manager of Waqf, they actually have managed and have few and many projects under each state. Okay, so to give example, a few projects that have been taken by few state in Malaysia. So for example, this is, for cash Waqf, majority of the state accept that cash Waqf is accepted to be done by the Muslims in Malaysia, and then this cash Waqf then will be istibdal, okay, to perpetual asset or to the permanent asset, okay, to be in line with the law of Waqf. And then there are the clinic Waqf, okay, which is initiated by Majlis Agama Islam Johor, the state of Johor. And then now clinic Waqf have been established in many states, in other states. And then this is Bazaar Waqf, which is this is a project between Yayasan Waqf Malaysia. Okay, there is another entity which is collecting cash Waqf at the federal level, and then this money then being distributed for at each state and develop the land Waqf at the each state, which is the collaboration project between Yayasan Waqf Malaysia and also the Islamic Religious Council at each state. And one of another project is Waqf Hotel, which is, and this picture is in Terengganu, whereby the land is the Waqf land, and this project get a funding from the government, okay, to build the Waqf Hotel. And this is the land which is under Majlis Agama Islam Wilayah Persekutuan, and then to build this building which amounted to 156 million ringgit, and then the money come from tabung haji. Okay, so this is what has been done, by each state, as the Waqf manager. Okay, but the focus of our conference today is on the innovation that has been taken by the Islamic financial institution. I give this background to give you what are the status of Waqf management in Malaysia and what are the initiative that has been taken by the Waqf manager or by the Majlis Agama Islam Negeri of each state. Okay, to show that each state they have done few projects, okay, to make sure that the Waqf asset has been utilized. So coming to our main focus today is about the Waqf innovation by Islamic banking institution in Malaysia. And I take example of what has been done by Bank Muamalat Malaysia Berhad, which is one of the earliest initiative done by the Islamic banking in Malaysia starting in 2012. Okay, where Bank Muamalat Malaysia with the collaboration Perbadanan Waqf Selangor, which is under Majlis Agama Islam Selangor, because Selangor have put Waqf matter under Perbadanan Waqf Selangor, and then with this collaboration, okay, they name as Waqf Muamalat Selangor. Okay, what happened for Waqf Muamalat Selangor is they collecting cash Waqf, which is managed by Bank Muamalat, but the money will be put in the account which is Perbadanan Waqf Selangor as the account holder of this cash Waqf collection. So their targeted customer are the customer of the bank and also the company and also the public. Okay, so this can be done by the customer through deposit at the counter, or they can also give their hibah from their deposit account as Waqf. Okay, and they also can give instruction to bank for every month to deduct their money to be put in this account of Waqf, Bank Muamalat Waqf Selangor Waqf. Okay, and then they can also give this Waqf through debit or check or CQR code. Okay, so this is the channel of the contribution to this cash Waqf under Bank Muamalat Selangor Waqf. And at the same time, Bank Muamalat also committed to contribute certain amount of money every month to this account, to this cash Waqf collection. Okay, meaning the bank has give the commitment in ensuring that this project will be successful, not only by depending the collection from the public, but also on their own they have given the commitment. Okay, and then how this money will be used? This money will be used for education, which is 40% for education, and then for health sector 40%, and then 20% will be invested. The investment will be channeled into financial instrument, Islamic financial instrument, which is under sukuk or other financial asset. Then from this investment, they may get a return either from profit or dividend, and then this return will be used or will be put in separate account, which is dana manfaah. Okay, not in this principle of Waqf account, but in this dana manfaah, which then this money will be used, okay, for operational costs, okay, and other spendable expenses. Okay, one example of the operational cost is, for example, when they take this cash waqaf and then they istibdal into mobile waqaf clinic, and then which is for health sector, and then this mobile waqaf clinic, they need to be insured. Okay, so the money to buy the takaful to insure this mobile clinic will be taken from this fund. Okay, this is among the operational costs. Okay, and other investment beside financial asset, they also will invest in real estate. They buy commercial property, okay, which then will be rented, and the rental also will be put in this specific fund, dana manfaah, okay, and it will then be spent either on the operational cost or then go back to the mawquf alai. Okay, so this is how it being managed. And for other operational costs, it will be bear by bank muamalat. Okay, so for example, when bank muamalat started this initiative back in 2012, they do lots of marketing through televisions, the billboard. Okay, so the cost of this marketing is borne by bank muamalat, and none has, the principle of the cash waqaf has not been touched for the operational cost expenses. Okay, so this is how the waqaf muamalat has been managed. Okay, and with the good collaboration between bank muamalat and also Waqaf Selangor or Majlis Agama Islam Selangor, then this project or the collection now amounting to 20 million ringgit. Okay, so in terms of the governance for this initiative, they have the management committee, which is the member of the management committee are from Bank Muamalat Malaysia Berhad and also from Perbadanan Waqaf Selangor. So this committee will decide, okay, if there are any policy regarding on the usage on the and whatever regarding this Waqaf initiative will be decided by both parties, okay, Bank Muamalat and Perbadanan Waqaf Selangor. And to ensure that this money being managed properly, they also have the audited or being audited by two parties, which is Jabatan Audit or Internal Audit of Majlis Agama Islam Selangor, and also by Internal Audit of Bank Muamalat Malaysia. Okay, so by having this audit report, it can give or it can gain more trust from the waqif, because they know that where their money has been spent and how much the cash has been collected, and then everything will be transparent to all the waqif. And this initiative also have been given tax exemption. Okay, so under the Ministry of Finance, okay, they managed to get tax exemption, which is for individual waqif, they can get 7% tax exemption from their waqaf contribution, and for the company they may get 10% from their waqaf contribution. Okay, so with this successful of this waqaf project between Bank Muamalat and also Majlis Agama Islam Selangor, this the committee member that I mentioned earlier, then now Bank Muamalat are having collaboration with other religious council, which is with Negeri Sembilan, another state in Malaysia, and then with Kelantan, and then with Kedah. Okay, so for each state, okay, they still have similar model, which is the committee will be combination from both parties, from Muamalat and also from Majlis Agama Islam Kedah, for Waqf Kedah Muamalat, and then for Waqf Negeri Sembilan Muamalat, they also have the committee from Bank Muamalat and the committee from Majlis Agama Islam Negeri Sembilan, and also for Kelantan, they have the committee member from Bank Muamalat and also from Majlis Agama Islam Negeri Kelantan. Okay, and then they will disclose all their collection and all their expenses through their website, which can be read by all the Waqif and also by the public. Okay, and every year they will have this report, okay, as a reference for the Waqif and the public. And this is to show you a few Waqf distribution that have been done. So for example, during the COVID, they have distributed nearly 369,200 ringgit to 18 hospital, and this is the material that they are distributing to the hospital, which are needed during that time. And then this is in Kelantan, okay, and then this is in Negeri Sembilan, okay. So all of this distribution are in the health sector, and they also distribute for the educational purposes, because this Waqf project is meant for health sector and educational sector. Okay, so this is just example of the distribution that has been done by the Waqf Muamalat. And if you can, see in their report, there are other program or other distribution that has been done by Waqf Muamalat. So with the success of this Waqf Muamalat, then now another bank is also embarking into this initiative. Okay, so under the Association of Islamic Banking in Malaysia, okay, they have this initiative, which is participated by 6 banks, which is Affin Islamic Bank, Bank Islam, Bank Muamalat, Bank Rakyat, Maybank Islamic, and RHB Islamic. Okay, so the previously, which is dedicated, done, or initiated by Bank Muamalat, and this one is a collaboration project under the Islamic Banking Association. Okay, and for each bank, they will work together with, again, another Islamic religious council of each of the state that they are choosing. Okay, so for example, so this is their model, okay, which is quite similar, which is for each bank, okay, when they have their each project, okay, they will put all the money in this Waqf fund, and then this money then will be also invested, okay, and then the investment also will be put in the Waqf project, and all the collection from this Waqf fund will be used for the Waqf project. And this is example of the project that are in the process of the collection of Waqf, cash Waqf. So for example, this one taken by Maybank Islamic, which is with collaboration with Majlis Agama Islam Perak. So we can see here, they are targeting 200,000 ringgit, okay, to buy boat, which is to be used by the fishermen because they want to upgrade, okay, the economic sector, because this initiative is to upgrade the economic sector of the ummah. Okay, so they find that this boat is needed, okay, for the fishermen in the in Perak state. Okay, so that's why they choose this project. And you can see that now the collection is still 30,000 ringgit plus, okay, not reach the targeted amount yet. Okay, so like I mentioned, whatever the initiative, we the public, we the ummah, who are the key person who have to contribute to the success of any project that has been initiated by Islamic financial institutions. And then this is RHB Islamic Bank, so they are initiating Dana Waqf Al-Bait, which is to establish a educational place for a student in Sarawak. And this one is Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad together with Majlis Agama Islam Perlis, okay, to have hemodialysis service, okay. And then now this project, you can see that when the collection raise and then the project progress, meaning the collection is not solely from the public, okay, there are another source of funding will be put in this project.
Sorry to interrupt, Prof. Asma. Could you please slide show the PPT? Some participants couldn't see your slide and your voice again, Prof. Thank you.
Sorry, I mean participant cannot see my slide.
I mean the text is too small. Could you please slide show the slide so the participant could read the slide as well.
I did not know.
At the bottom, just click the slideshow. Right. Yeah, right side. Right. Close to the minus and plus. Yeah, just next to the the left one.
Okay, this
one.
The screen one. Next. Left one. Yeah.
This one.
Yeah. This one. That's bottom again.
Bottom. This one.
Left side, Prof.
Left.
Yeah, that's one. Click. Yes, thank you.
My sincere apologies.
It's okay.
Okay, so this one is again Bank Muamalat and with Majlis Agama Islam Negeri Kedah. Okay, then this is still under progress. Okay, and this one is Bank Muamalat with Majlis Agama Islam Negeri 9. Okay, to have this sekolah menengah Islam. Okay. So that was, I mean, there are another project, but with the limitation of time, so I moved to another initiative, which is done by one of the Takaful company in Malaysia, which is Hong Leong MSIG Takaful. So the initiative is when the participant take their Takaful product. So Hong Leong MSIG Takaful is Takaful operator which are operated to offer family Takaful product only. Okay, now they are licensed for family Takaful product. So if the participant take the Takaful product, and then they can make a request for the Takaful operator for Hong Leong MSIG Takaful, the benefit from their Takaful benefit will be made as a Waqf, okay, and the amount is 500 ringgit right now. I mean, they limit to 500 ringgit, and then Takaful operator as a wakil to the customer or the participant of Takaful, then will channel the cash Waqf to the Islamic Religious Council again. Okay, and they cannot use this money to give to dia or to another project or to the specific beneficiaries, okay, still they have to channel this money to the Islamic Religious Council. And just to give you a history, before this, I mean, actually there was takaful product that being offered previously, but now this product has been stopped, which being offered by one of the takaful company in Malaysia, whereby the product is the takaful Waqf product, meaning you take the takaful mainly for Waqf, okay, but this product has been stopped due to few reasons, okay. So this is, I mean, the way that in another initiative taken by Hong Leong MSIG Takaful, meaning you take the product still for you, okay, as participant of Takaful, you want to get protection for you or your family, but then the benefit from the Takaful policy, okay, certain amount which is 500 ringgit will be made as Waqf, okay. And then we move to another initiative which is Waqf innovation via Islamic capital market. So this is one of the initiative has been taken by Majlis Agama Islam Negeri Johor via Johor Corporation under their subsidiary which is Waqf An-Nur or Waqf Corporation, Waqf An-Nur Corporation, and through the subsidiary of One Corp or Waqf An-Nur Corporation, where they offer Waqf Saham, okay, and the advisor for the issuance of this Waqf Saham is Maybank Investment Bank, okay. And the issuance of these Waqf shares has gone through a proper process like the issuance of shares, okay. Like when you want to offer shares to the public for your company, so this process gone through by the Lakin Santra when they want to issue these Waqf shares, okay. And this can be done, okay, through a few process whereby, okay, I think it's better for me to show the, why I cannot move my slide to show it in the data.
Click twice, Prof. Yes.
Twice.
Then exit full screen. Yeah. Or escape. Just escape. Then.
Okay. I cannot move to another.
Press escape first. Then.
Okay, I try.
Oh, that's one. Yeah.
Okay. So the issuance of these shares have gone through whereby first, okay, they must get the fatwa, okay, from the Jawatan Kuasa Fatwa Negeri, okay, which is allow that the issuance of this Waqf is not contradict or is not conflict with the law of Waqf, okay. And then Majlis Agama Islam Negeri, okay, will publish, okay, that they will I mean the consent to issue the Waqf shares, and then they also get the consent, okay, or the endorsement from Securities Commission to recognize that these shares is the Sharia compliant shares. So these shares has gone through the screening process like other shares, okay. So they have to follow the screening methodology. So there's no element of riba, gharar, maisir or other prohibited element for the usage of this proceeds from the Waqf shares. And then that's why, okay, through the assessment, the screening process, then the Sharia Committee of the Securities Commission endorsed these shares as Sharia compliant shares. Okay, and they also get the approval from the Ministry of Finance to give tax exemption, which is similar, which is 7% for individuals and 10% for the company. Okay, so next, okay, sorry, I cannot. Okay, and they also issue the prospectus for the potential share subscribers. Okay, and like normal and typical the issuance of the shares. Okay, so this is how it works. Okay, so the shares, okay, being issued by Lakin Central Property, okay, which is the company is owned by the One Corp, okay, Waqf Anur Corporation. Okay, and when the Waqif, okay, subscribe the shares, okay, they then appoint the One Corp on behalf of them, okay, to manage, okay, the Waqf asset, which is the Waqf shares. Okay, and in this case, One Corp has been appointed as Nazir Khas by Majlis Agama Islam Negeri Johor. If you still remember when I mentioned that Majlis Agama Islam Negeri is the sole trustee of Waqf asset in Malaysia, so that's why the power has to be given to another party if Majlis Agama Islam Negeri want to appoint another party on behalf of them to do this or to collect Waqf or to manage Waqf on behalf of them. Okay. So One Corp, Waqf Anur Corporation, okay, as Nazir Khas, okay, has responsibility to manage and administer the Waqf asset or the Waqf shares. Okay, and the proceed from the Waqf shares, okay, which is the issuance of these Waqf shares is 85 million ringgit. Okay, so all the proceeds then will be used to develop, okay, the Lakin Central bus station and also the center of the Lakin Central. So in the prospectus, it been mentioned that all the dividends, okay, from the Lakin Central will be declared, whereby from the 100% of the dividend, okay, 90% will be given to the One Corp and it will be reinvested and it will be used for the charitable purposes. But 10% will be given to Majlis Agama Islam Negeri Johor. Okay, so this is typical arrangement in Malaysia, whereby majority of Majlis Agama Islam Negeri, they are entitled or they will be given certain amount of dividend as the Nazir, okay, which they then will be used, okay, or will be distributed this dividend for education, entrepreneurship, health sector, okay, and 5% from 10%, 5% will be keep in the fund of the sole trustee fund as the nazir of the Waqf asset in Johor. Okay, so this is how it work, okay, on the Waqf shares of Lakin Central. So who are the subscribers? So the public and also the company are buying these shares. Okay, so among of the subscribers are Johor and Berhad, which they are buying these shares amounting to 300,000 ringgit. KPJ Health, Berhad, QSR Brands Holding, which is all of this company, okay, contribute and buy these Waqf shares, including Maybank Investment Bank Berhad, which is the advisor of this Waqf shares issuance advisor. Okay, and then there are another companies. So for example, Etika Takaful Berhad, one of the takaful company in Malaysia. So they also contributing by buying the shares of this shares issuance. Okay, and then
Ms. Prof, we only have 5 more minutes for your presentation. Thank you.
okay, so, okay, I will have a few slides only. Okay, and then so for the future, okay, so based on what has been done by Islamic financial institutions, we can see that the advantages of having this kind of collaboration is that the potential of Waqf, okay, to contribute to this initiative, because the bank have can reach their customers who have money. Okay, so they may become the potential Waqf, okay, to support this Waqf initiative. And then through the marketing strategy, like I mentioned, when bank muamalat, they spend certain amount to do the marketing through television, which can reach many people. Okay, and then channel of Waqf contribution. So with the technology used by the Islamic banking institution or by the Islamic insurance or by the Islamic capital market, I mean, there are additional channel of contribution rather than Waqf only being managed by the Majlis Agama Islam Negeri, which may limited on this initiative. Okay, and in terms of the governance structure or the governance of this Waqf project, with the corporate element of the Islamic bank, Islamic insurance, okay, we can see that a proper governance has been applied. Okay, so it gives more transparency, and then it may gain more trust from the Waqf and the people, because they can see that all the collection and all the distribution will be disclosed to the public, and they can trace everything. So we as the Waqf, we are very confident, okay, to support this kind of initiative when we know where our money goes, and then what are the progress, and what are the status of the project. However, even though the Waqf shares has been initiated as one of the good initiative, so and the target collecting Waqf is 85 million ringgit, but as far as I know, at this moment they managed to collect only 7 million ringgit plus. Okay, so it does not reach the target amount yet. And again, this is what I mentioned in my first talk just now, whatever the initiative is, it will not successful unless there are the awareness, education, and also the passion from the public to support this kind of project. So thank you, moderator. So with that, and thank you very much. So my apologies for not hearing my voice clearly or my slide quite small, but I've shared my slide with the committee and the secretariat. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Associate Professor Asma. I think at the end the sound is better, and you can have participants can have the PPT from the committee. So we have many insights from the Waqf implementation in Malaysia, especially in terms of innovation in the COVID-19 era, pandemic, and Waqf in shares. So please ask questions, use the chat features in the Zoom. I think we will continue first to our second speaker. Then the question will answer after the two speakers presenting their materials. So our second speaker is Professor Raditya Sukmana. So Professor Raditya Sukmana is professor in Department of Sharia Economics, Faculty of Economics and Business, University Airlangga, Surabaya, Indonesia. And for his qualification, PhD in Economics from AIU, Malaysia, Master of Arts in Economics from Georgia State University, US, Bachelor of Economics from Faculty of Economics, Universitas Airlangga, Surabaya, Indonesia. And his area of expertise in the area of Waqf, Islamic microfinance, and Islamic monetary economics. His current position is the head of department, head of Sharia Economic Department, Faculty of Economic and Business, Universitas Airlangga, and head of doctoral study program in Islamic economics in the same university. So for today, we have two head of department in the Islamic economics in UM and Airlangga. And he has published many books and articles in peer-reviewed journals, and also members of Sharia Advisory Board in Islamic Rural Bank in Indonesia, and also speakers in various international and national seminars about Waqf and Islamic economics. So without further ado, I will hand it over to Professor to present his material. Please, Prof. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pak Bayu. Can you hear me clearly, Pak Bayu?
Yes, yeah, we can hear, Prof.
Okay, allow me to share screen first. Okay. Okay, can you see my slide, everybody? And
yes, you can see your slide.
Okay, good. Alhamdulillah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa la syarika lahu wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu la nabiyya ba'da. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Thank you for participating in this online webinar, and I'm happy that today me and Prof. Asma will be discussing about Waqf innovations. And for all the participants from overseas, I know from Malaysia as well, and also a student of my colleague Abidullah from IPA Sukur. Thank you for joining. Okay. The title for this seminar is how Waqf can have a role in the Islamic financial institutions in selected countries. So in my presentations, I will discuss the role of Waqf with the several entities like Islamic banks, and also Takaful Company, Islamic Capital Market, Ministry of Finance, and Islamic Cooperative. So in total, I have like 8 here, total about the Islamic financial institutions. But if I still have time, then I will discuss number 9, another Waqf innovations, but not linked to IV. So Waqf for fishermen, this is with the Islamic Cooperative, this is with Islamic Bank, this is with IDB, this is with the Takaful Company, this is Waqf Share, Islamic Capital Market, and Capital Market in New Zealand, and Kalisa. Kalisa is a Nazir, I'll talk it later. Okay, we move on to number 1. Waqf for fishermen. Actually, I have YouTube on this, but I want to discuss it briefly. So here is the conditions. A lot of fishermen nearby Kenjeran Beach. So in Surabaya, there is a beach called Kenjeran. And this fisherman needs equipment for fishing. In order for the fishermen to get the equipment, they have to walk. Because the location of the store is in downtown, far from the Kenjeran. And of course, the fishermen need to go to the downtown and of course need transportation expenses, time and energy. And then among all the fishermen in this Kenjeran Beach, they have association of fishermen, right? So in this case, BMT Muda is Islamic cooperative who wants to help this fishermen. How? This BMT Muda help the Association of Farmers to develop or to establish Islamic cooperative, namely Koperasi Bahari or KB. So KB is another Islamic cooperative, but the location of the KB is right next to the beach, right? So BMT Muda raises cash Waqf fund to help the Koperasi Bahari. Okay, let's take, this is the process. This is BMT Muda who has the license to get the Waqf from the Badan Waqf Indonesia as a Waqf regulator. So they raise cash Waqf. And then from this cash Waqf, this Koperasi Bahari is newly established from the Association of Fishermen. So this Koperasi Bahari is a store. Inside the store, there is, with the funding from cash Waqf, BMT Muda give Qardul Hasan to this Koperasi Bahari. Qardul Hasan as much as 4 million or equivalent to USD 350, right? So it's not much, it's $350 US. And this Koperasi Bahari use this 350 to buy net, ropes, and then oil, diesel, and so on. All the equipment that is needed for the fishermen, right? Because this is Qardul Hasan. After 10 months, then this cooperative KB has to return back the 350 back to BMT Muda. Why this BMT Muda wants to adopt the Qardul Hasan to this Koperasi Muda? Because BMT Muda knows that this is newly established cooperative, newly established. So BMT Muda do not want to bother to give more burden to this Koperasi Bahari. How? Just give Qardul Hasan and return back the same amount of the principals. So this in the store like this, and so the fishermen can get the this rope, all the equipment that's needed for the fishing. So here is, if you see this picture, this is beach, and the store is next to this one. It's one of the house. It's like, this is very small, right? Very small, but in front of this is directly a beach. So this is me and all the with the employee. This is in front of the Koperasi Bahari. So who are the Mawquf Alai? Let me repeat. Here, the first financing is Qardul Hasan. After 10 months, right? After 10 months, Koperasi Bahari wants another financing from BMT Muda. But since BMT Muda knows that this KB is already a bit established, then they change the akad. They change to another akad like Musaraka and so on. So it has profit for the BMT Muda. The profit goes to beneficiaries. Who are they? The poor and needy, Quranic teachers, payment of the teacher, Quranic teacher, mosque renovations. These are all use the profit from the musharaka and other contract, which is based on the cash Waqf. So what are the advantages of these projects? By having the KB, which is right close to the beach, easy for the farmer to get equipment for fishing. Of course, it improves the local economy. Get rid from the loan shark. Before KB was there, the fishermen get the loan from the loan shark, and then Another advantage of this project is that fishermen get the equipment first and pay back once the fish is sold. This is pay back to who? To KB, right? Then ensure sustainability of the Waqf alai, the poor and needy, the Quranic teacher, and so on. And this project doesn't need government funding. So this is the advantage of this project. Second, Waqf and Islamic banks in Indonesia. Currently, there is agreement between Badan Waqf Indonesia and as a Waqf regulator Indonesia that allow Indonesian Islamic Bank to raise cash Waqf. However, in order to do so, Indonesian Islamic Bank has to get the Nazir, first. In Indonesia, a bit different with the Malaysia, like Prof. Asma has mentioned that Nazir is a sole trustee, and then in Malaysia, it is with the state. But in context of Indonesia, the Nazir can be the state, can be the private, right? So Indonesian Islamic Bank has to get the Nazir, right? So the Indonesian Islamic Bank can only act as an agent to collect cash Waqf. Some Indonesian Islamic Bank have this license. So for example, like this bank is a CIMB Niaga, is a subsidiary of the CIMB holding in Malaysia. If you see this in the website, this CIMB Niaga has various Nazir. These are all Nazir, right? These are all private Nazir, in fact, right? So within its Nazir, they have their own project, right? And the project will be promoted in this website, this address will be promoted like the one below. This is Waqf Kesehatan, means health Waqf. MOS for Waqf and educations and productive Waqf. If you click this, then few project will be displayed, and then the one who interested to join can follow the click and so on and donate the cash Waqf. Also, this is a BNI. BNI is a government Islamic bank. So in the website, they provide informations of the Waqf project, like this one, a mosque, and this is a hospital, and this is well, right, Waqf Sumur. And one of the Nazir in BNI Syariah is Universitas Erlangga. So Universitas Erlangga, as has been mentioned by the Master of Ceremony, is the first Nazir university level in Indonesia. Okay, also the Bank Syariah Mandiri is another Islamic bank which get the license to raise cash Waqf. So advantage of this project is what? By collaboration of Nazir and Islamic Bank, then Waqf project information spread very fast, right? Of course, in the website and others, right? So having a cash Waqf acceptance by the Islamic Bank, it increase the liquidity issues. I mean, it mitigate the liquidity risk by Islamic Bank. And of course, boost socio-economic performance. This is the advantage of this project. Also, another Islamic bank which focus on Waqf is APIF by the IDB, Islamic Development Bank. So in APIF, right? So IDB will be financing amount of money for the property on top of Waqf land. If you see here, the fund participants in the financing of new project aiming at the development of the Waqf land, right? As well as this property aiming to develop already existing Waqf property. So this financing by IDB is focusing on the property. So that's number 3, right? Another collaborations, another innovations of Waqf is with Takaful company or Islamic insurance. So one of the private Islamic insurance in Indonesia is generally, it's actually the Italy based Takaful insurance, right? So Waqf in Islamic insurance is on the Islamic life insurance, right? For this particular product, it has been endorsed by Majelis Ulama Indonesia on the issue of Sharia compliance. It is already Sharia compliance, so Waqf insurance. So how is it, the Islamic Waqf Islamic life insurance? Okay, don't bother with my handwriting. I tried, just follow me. Assume that this Brian, a successful young entrepreneur who manages his own coffee shop, right? Brian earns 50 million rupiahs, or equivalent USD 1,071 per month, right? Per month. He's a successful young entrepreneur. And Brian wants to make Waqf, right? So he buy life insurance with the regular contribution monthly as much as 500, nearly 600,000, or if it is in US, is 43 monthly, US dollar monthly per month. For how long? For 5 years, right? So Brian, in order to do Waqf life insurance, Brian has to pay 43 US dollar per month for 5 years. How much in total? So of course, 43 times 12, this is for 1 year, times 5. How much is it? In US dollar is 2,541 for 5 years. This is the total amount of premium that has to be paid by Brian for the life insurance. But how much is the sum assured? How much is the sum assured? In case Brian die during the coverage period, how much generally company give to the beneficiary? It's a 200 million. 200 million is equivalent to how much? Equivalent to 14,000 USD. 40,000 USD. And then, according to the fatwa, that 45 out of this one, right? 45 out of this one can be treated as Waqf on behalf of Brian. How much is 45% out of 14,000? It is like this: 6,428 US dollars as a cash Waqf when the Brian dies during the coverage period. So I repeat, how much Brian pay for the 5 years? It is 2,500. How much that the Brian give Waqf, cash Waqf when he died? It is much more than what he pays. He gave this much. This much is how much? This is in Indonesia 90 juta. Can you imagine? If someone asks us right now, right, are we willing to donate cash Waqf 6,000 at once? 6,000 USD at once. Are we willing directly at once 6,400? Well, we may think several times to decide whether willing or not willing. But that happens only when we die, right? When we die, the total amount that can be treated as Waqf is this much, right? More than what has been paid by Brian. But if Brian still alive, reach 99 years old, he entitled to get all the sum assured, right? So this is very interesting program of Waqf life insurance. Okay, assume that this generally, the company names is generally, this company collaborate with An-Nazir. So in Universitas Airlangga here, this is the certificate to show that yes, Universitas Airlangga is An-Nazir. This is by Badan Waqf Indonesia, Waqf regulator, right? So this means that Universitas Airlangga can raise funds, cash Waqf funds. So if this generally the company name generally, collaborate with Universitas Airlangga, then this 45% of this amount can be directly put as a Waqf in this Nazir. So Universitas Airlangga can directly receive 6,400 at once. This is a big amount, 90 juta rupiah, right? So this is a very nice arrangement. So what is the benefit of this one? Look, this Waqf life insurance has a three benefit. First, afterlife protections. This is for the deceased. I mean, for the person die. The person die, we don't know whether he go to Jannah, go to heaven, or otherwise, right? By having this Waqf, then he got reward uninterrupted until the day of judgment, right? So that's we call afterlife protection. Second one is the welfare protections for the family. From which part? From the 55%. 55% of the sum assured, right? Amounting to this much, right? So the difference between this much, and this much, right? So this is the protection for the family. And then another benefit is that Waqf fund that delivered to Nazir is much bigger compared to paid contribution and Waqf in cash. So Brian only paid this one for 5 years only, finish. But he could donate cash Waqf much more than this one, right? So that's the benefit. That's the insurance with the Takaful company. Number 5, Waqf shares in Indonesia. Okay, this is the process, right? Investor who hold the shareholders, right? If they want to put some of their shares as Waqf, then the investor has to go to securities companies, SOTS, Syariah Online Trading System, security companies. These security companies has to have collaborations with Nazir, right? And Nazir, if they do not have the expertise, they can contact the investment manager to finance or to manage the shares. How is the process of the Waqf shares? Okay, we need to define first, what is the object of the shares? What is the object? If the object of the shares is shares, that means the dividend coming from these shares is for Maquf Alai, right? If the Waqf of the Waqf object is the money equivalent of the shares, that means the Nazir can sell these shares provided the price is higher, which means it has a capital gain, which distributed for the Maquf Alai. Only the capital gain, the difference price between market price and the buying price. The capital gain goes to Maquf Alai, but the principal retained as cash Waqf for another buying shares, right? So this is the second alternative. The third Waqf object is the dividend or capital gain, used to buy share for Waqf. The share still owned by shareholders. Whenever the shareholders get the dividend give to the Nazir is given. The dividend is given to the Nazir as a Waqf object. That means the dividend, the Nazir has to buy from that dividend buy another share for Waqf. So this is the alternative. However, we should take a note that if Nazir is also investment manager, right? Nazir can directly decide to sell Waqf share to get capital gain or save to get dividend. Both capital gain and dividend will be distributed to Maquf Alai. If Nazir do not have expertise in finance expertise, then the Nazir has to collaborate with the investment managers, right? So this is number 5, Waqf collaborations with the Islamic capital market. In this case is shares, right? But another Islamic capital market is sukuk, Waqf sukuk. So this is me with my close friends from New Zealand. His name is Dr. Hussein. So his business is, he has a sheep farm. So whenever the Idul Adha coming, he is so busy because many people ask him to buy, they want to buy sheep from him. Because the demand is so great, so he wants to extend or expand their business, but he doesn't have money. So he create what it is called cash Waqf. Cash Waqf, suku, right? It's a suku, right? In this case, this is the issuer of the suku. So the issuer, of course, issue the suku, and suku holder will give money to the trustee, and trustee give to the Waqf New Zealand as a issuer, and the proceed, the money, will be used to buy farm, because the intention of the Dr. Hussein is to get a larger farm so that thousands of the sheep can be put in there, right? So this farm, right, and then operating by public trust, and they have a smart Waqf. Smart Waqf means what? Smart Waqf, this brother Dr. Hussein, they adopt the concept of zero waste. Zero waste means what? Means that everything in the ship can be sold. Of course, they have to put value added first, then they sell it. I met him in South Africa in Cape Town a few years back. When he was in front of the States, in front of the audience, he brought the skin of the sheep, and he asked the audience, do you know how much the skin which I hold right now, the quality of the skin is less quality, not a good quality? The audience says, we don't know. And Dr. Hussein mentioned that I sell this skin of the sheep to Europe market for jacket, $100 for this skin, he said. And furthermore, he asked questions to the audience. How much is the price of the sheep, one sheep in New Zealand? The audience says, we don't know. Dr. Hussein mentioned that the price of the sheep is $80. Can you imagine? The skin of the sheep he sell to the European market is $100. But the sheep itself cost in the New Zealand is only $80. So that's why sheep farm in the New Zealand is a lucrative business, right? So this is suku Waqf. So because this smart, also not only the skin that he sell to others, the bones of the sheep, the bones is managed in such a way that can be sold as a souvenir, which we can put above the table, right? So he got a lot of revenue from this smart Waqf, and the principal goes back to the suku holders. So this is the proposed model. I believe this Dr. Hussein's, when they designed this scheme, is with ISRA in Malaysia. I do not know the status right now. It is happening in New Zealand or not, because this is a proposed model, but it's a good initiative. We learn a lot from this scheme. So this is number 7, right? Number 6. This is number 7. Waqf Care Indonesia, or Khalisa. Waqf Peduli Indonesia. It means that Waqf Care Indonesia, cares Indonesia, right? So this is collaborations of Nazir Waqf collaborates with Islamic Bank, right, to cater for the COVID. Nazir collect cash Waqf, deposit in banks, profit obtained sent to Nazir to further distribute to handle COVID. Cash Waqf can be permanent or temporary. So the structure is like this. This is Waqif. Waqif can give permanent or temporary cash wakaf. So Waqf give cash wakaf to who? To agent, Nazir agent, LKS PWU, Nazir agent. It's a Islamic bank actually. This is Islamic bank. Islamic bank. And then this Nazir agent, they have to have the agent, right? Sorry, they have to have the Nazir, I mean, right? The Nazir. So Waqf give cash wakaf to this one, agent, which is an Islamic bank, and then put as a deposit, and the profit given to Nazir and distribute to Waqf Alai. As simple as that, right? So this is Waqf Care Indonesia. This is cash wakaf link suku. So this is different with the previous one. This one, another entity is coming, which is the finance minister, right? So the scheme is almost the same, but slightly different. The Waqf give a temporary or perpetual cash wakaf to the agent of Nazir, and all the agent of Nazir collect the Waqf and then submit to BWI as a Waqf regulator, right? Since this is suku, who is the issuer? Issuer is the finance minister. Finance minister issue suku, and this is private placement. Private placement means that he only one entity that can buy this suku. In this case, cash wakaf link suku, only BWI as a regulator who is which is eligible to buy this kind of suku. So BWI buying this suku, certificate is given to this, right? And of course, government use this money for the development, socio-economic development. And since this is suku, so it has a profit. Distribution of profit from Ministry of Finance, sent to BWI, sent to agent, and for Waqf social purposes. This is Waqf Alai. So this is for cash wakaf link suku. Okay, another Waqf innovation. This is very much interesting, but not linked to the finance institutions. Telkomsel points. Telkomsel is a telecommunication company for make a call in Indonesia. So if you are Indonesians and you use this provider, Telkomsel, so if you buy a lot prepaid card for the credit, then you will get points. But certain times, your accumulated point, you can use to buy discounted price on a certain merchant. You buy things, you get discounted price because you use this point. But if you don't use the point, right, it'll be expired, right? Deducted automatically a few points. It will be expired. So there's a request by BWI in collaborations with this Telkomsel, right, for the expired points. How? So whenever Telkomsel, this company wants to burn the points, instead of burning the points, Telkomsel convert this to rupiah. How much is that in rupiah? And then the converted amount is treated as cash wakaf, and given to BWI as a regulator. So this is another innovations of the Waqf. So I repeat, BWI with the Telkomsel, they have an arrangement that expired points is converted into rupiah. So in this case, Telkomsel look at how much money that is converted, and then the money is treated as a cash wakaf and sent to BWI. Right. So this is the Waqf point. And okay, this is another interesting Waqf innovations. Waqf gasoline nozzle, right? This is Pondok Pesantren Tazaka, Islamic boarding school Tazaka, located in Pekalongan, Central Java. So this is Pekalongan, right? This is Yogyakarta. Jakarta is somewhere here. Surabaya is here. And you have Australia or Darwin somewhere here, right? So in this city, this Islamic boarding school, one of the Waqf, they own a gas stations. The gas stations, the Waqf do not want to donate all the business for Waqf. The Waqf only wants one of the nozzle among all nozzles that he has, right? So it is like this. Waqf, one nozzle of gasoline line with the use of unlimited benefits, profit from date 1 to 15 every month. So, for example, this is gasoline pump stations, and you have like 3 things like this, and each has 2 nozzles. So each has 2 nozzles. So this Waqf only wants to donate cash Waqf, only this one. When? On 1 to 15 every month. The date 1 or until 15 every month. So the profit from here goes to Tazaka, right? So how about the date 16 to 30? It goes as a normal profit for the owner. But from 1 to the date 1 to 115 every month, the profit goes to Islamic boarding school Tazaka. So this is another Waqf innovations. So this is the nozzle they put in the car, and then it makes, people are making dua on this nozzle. Right, so what is the advantage of collaborating with the Islamic financial institutions? First is to accelerate the Waqf development. It means that, look at this data. This is the map of Indonesia. This is Jakarta. This is Central Java, this is Surabaya here, and this is Australia, Pekalongan somewhere here, and this is Kuala Lumpur, and this is Malaysia also. So Indonesia is like this. For those of you who have never been to Indonesia, how much?
Five more minutes.
Okay. How much is the Islamic bank offices? Islamic bank offices number. You add all this one. Is more than 2,000. More than 2,000 Islamic bank offices here. So can you imagine if all the Islamic banking employee is well equipped with the knowledge of Waqf, and every time customer visits the Islamic bank company and all the employees promote what Waqf is, can you imagine the Waqf development in the future in Indonesia? So that's why accelerate Waqf. IFE has a high-end information IT infrastructure. Also, IFE has expertise for financial portfolio, risk management, feasibility study, and so on, and provide big amount of cash Waqf at one time, Waqf insurance, like what I have mentioned, and support empowerment, especially for the startup Islamic cooperative, like a Koperasi Bahari with all the fishermen there. Okay, I almost finished. Research topic on Waqf, for those of you who are students, you may, I give this for you. Then these are the topics which can be used for your dissertations or thesis or other things. All right. Waqf in health sector, past experience, current practice. Waqf is a government institution, Waqf and digitalizations. So regulatory framework, aspect that has not been regulated, role of government in different country, awareness of Waqf, quality of Waqf practitioner, and so on. And what else? How to optimize the unproductive Waqf land, alternative uses. These are all the possible title for the Waqf development. I think you can read this thing, and I think, yes, IN, you can contact me through this email or my handphone number. You can print screen this one, or later on you can get the slide. With that, I end my presentation. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Back to you, Pak Bayu.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, thank you, Prof. Raditya Sukmana, for the interesting talk about Waqf innovation, from the Waqf for fishermen to the cooperation until the Waqf through the nozzle, in the petrol pump, and also some topics about research in Waqf. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, all participants, I have received some questions from the participants. We have around 9 questions, and some questions for both speakers and some specific question for particular speakers. So first question is from Rubaya Yaqub for Prof. Asma. Prof. Asma, are you with us? Okay. Okay. Question from Rubaya. In slide 3, you mentioned that profit or dividend from rental and sukuk from Waqf. So are these dividend and profit go to the Mawquf Alai or not? Could you please give example? Thank you.
It will be used to pay for the operational cost, like I mentioned earlier, to pay for the takaful and other maintenance, or they also will be used to Mawquf Alai. For example, to give scholarship to the Mawquf Alai, because from the Waqf principle, we cannot use as the scholarship, but they will be taken from the return from the investment or from the rental. Thank you.
Okay, second question, still for Prof. Asma. Could you please elaborate the strategy for collaboration, especially to implement Waqf in many sectors? How to collaborate? Because you mentioned the collaboration between maybe state in Malaysia and Islamic Bank. So how to the strategy to collaborate in more sectors?
Yeah, I think the collaboration is quite workable but challenging, I would say. And based on because like I mentioned, the sole trustee of the Waqf matter is under the Majlis Agama Islam Negeri, and then they will give positive feedback or positive feedback to the proposal of the collaboration if the Islamic banking or other Islamic financial institution can propose a project that they have a common interest, okay, and also I think it takes lots of discussion before it can be done, because if I can share, for example, when the government requests that all the universities have we also must establish our own Waqf unit at okay. So to get a permission and consent from the Majlis Agama Islam Negeri to set up our Waqf unit at I mean it take time to get their permission, but yet still we have to go to that process, and yeah, but based on my conversation with our friend, I mean from Islamic banking, it's not a one night job. It takes time, okay, to get a common interest and understanding of what we are going to do. Okay, this is for Malaysian perspective. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Asma. The third question, still for Prof. Asma. Could you please explain about the reputation risk for Waqf institution with regards to the maybe transparency and integrity to manage Waqf fund, especially for Waqif in Malaysia?
So, since at the Majlis Agama Islam Negeri, okay, they also must be audited based on their wakaf asset that they are collecting or they are managing, okay. But in the past, this is in the past whereby when the wakaf asset has not been registered properly, and then the wakif cannot trace their wakaf asset and what happened to their wakaf asset. But nowadays with I would say more stringent approach whereby everything has to be registered properly, and then it has be in their book, okay, and in their accounting book, okay. And then in terms of the reputational, I would think that the wakif, they always question on why, for example, when I make this land as a wakaf, why this land is still not being developed. This is always the questions from the wakif when they give land as the wakaf. The issue is we sometimes do not aware when we give land as a wakaf, okay, to be built school or what other building on that school or what for other purposes. We give land, but the money, okay, to build school or to build hospital on that land is not there yet. So they need sometimes, okay, to collect that money, and who will be contributing to that project, okay. So that is among the issues that are questions by the wakif, okay. And in terms of the cash wakaf, okay, usually the cash wakaf collected, they will use and to be converted into the permanent asset, permanent wakaf asset. But still the collection take time, okay. The collection take time. I mean, for example, if the project need 2 million and the cash coming is not one day, then you can collect 2 million. It take time, okay, to get that amount of money and before the project can be done. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Asma. Next question, I think this one is for both speakers. So why the collection of wakaf is still low comparing to the target setting by Indonesia and Malaysia? And for Malaysia case, what is the initiative can be taken by Johar or Yayasan Waqaf Malaysia to encourage public in Malaysia to participate in takaful plan with wakaf elements? So I think Prof. Asma maybe could answer first, then follow with Prof. Raditya.
Okay, so like I mentioned, when you participating in wakaf, is really your intention, okay, to be takarrub to Allah, okay. So it's all of us, okay. So the awareness, the understanding to contribute, okay. So but I acknowledge that the initiative on the spread the awareness and education has been taken by religious council in Malaysia. So for example, Johor, they have their program via radio, okay, IKIM radio, which promoting the importance of wakaf. And even in Selangor, for example, they have promoting wakaf through the khutbah Jumaat, okay. So this spread of awareness, I think this is continuous job that has to be done by everybody, okay. And as long as we ourselves, we can encourage, people around us, every of us play our own role, then the awareness, the spread of understanding, okay, will spread okay, among the society. And what is another question, Mr. Moderator? I think
How what initiative can be taken by Johar or Yayasan Waqf Malaysia to encourage public in Malaysia to participate in Takaful Waqf element? I think some program Malaysian government.
yeah, so I think, yeah, it's about education and also the initiative, and even for example, Jauhar, they also have Waqf Talk series, okay. They have publication, okay, which is all of this has been done, okay, and I think they are sharing knowledge through Facebook and Instagram with this new communication channel. It also has been done, okay. I think they have done a very I would say they have done the initiative, but yet, yeah, still continuously have to be done, okay, continuously, okay, because we have like our generation, maybe we understand, but then the new and the younger generation also has to be instilled with this culture of giving wakaf.
Okay. So for all participants, we will finish first all questions through the chat. So maybe for Prof. Raditya, what is the strategy to collecting wakaf? Because why the collection of wakaf fund is still low from the target in Indonesia?
Yes. First questions. How is the strategy to increase the Waqf collections? Of course, we need to know the problem first, right? The problem, as has been mentioned by the Prof. Asma, is about the awareness, right? So why the awareness of the Waqf is so low? Well, there's so many factors, but I think because we in the college, right, especially in economics, we are taught how to maximize profit. And then what? How to use the profit. No single one textbook that mention that, the profit that you get, please put majority of your profit for charity. No single book talks about that, right? So we don't know how to distribute the profit. So the important in this case is that make socializations of the Waqf. How? Every channels that we can use, social media or talk to any community and so on. So this process, we don't expect that the fruit can be obtained right now. The fruit may be generations after generations, but we have put one bricks of the full houses, right? And what next, Pak Bayu? Sorry, I forgot.
Okay, next question. The fifth question is from Mr. Faiz from UP Bandung. So this question is for both speakers, for Prof. Raditya and Prof. Asma. What do you think about Waqf for infrastructure in Indonesia and Malaysia, and what is the challenges? Maybe Prof. Raditya first, then follow with Prof. Asma.
Well, let me draw something, right, for the infrastructure. This Waqf, Waqf, if you collaborate with the Islamic cooperative, that you open a wide variety of Waqf. Okay, if you can look at my, this is BMT, right, Islamic cooperative, which get the license of Nazir, right? So this is Waqf, as Waqf. Okay, now you can help many kinds of community for socio-economic development with this cash Waqf by the Islamic cooperative. How? Now take a look. If you can identify locations in a community, very remote area in a certain community whereby no electricity there, no electricity. but people there is in need of electricity. They don't mind paying some amount of money. They don't mind. So what BMT can do is that use cash Waqf, and then this BMT buy solar cell. If the electricity company cannot go to this community, then BMT has to buy solar cell, put there, here. And then the solar cell can give electricity to all houses here, right? And each houses has to pay for this scholarship, or has to pay to this BMT for what? For maintenance of the solar cell, right? For maintenance of the solar cell, and also for another solar cell in another community. So this kind of solar cell is infrastructure, right? This is an example of the infrastructure. Of course, if you talk about the bigger amount of money for the infrastructure, then you need more governance. For example, you want to build a long road, a tall road from the upper Malaysia, like in Kedah, down towards Singapore. It's a very long, tall road by Waqf, let's say. Then you have to have a governance, a good, more government to do that constructions. I think that's my question, my answer, Pak Bayu.
Okay, maybe from Prof. Asma, how is the Waqf infrastructure and the challenges in Malaysia?
So, and there was an example whereby one of the state, they want to replace their water supply, and they need billion of money. Okay, but to go on purely based on cash Waqf itself, it will take a long time to achieve that goal. Okay, so it is workable, but again, if this be collected, or this money be collected through the individual public, I think still the challenge is how long it will take to get that amount of money. Okay? So again, okay, for me it's about the contribution and also the participation, not only from the individual but also from the corporate body or from the company. Like previously when I show the project which is to develop the Lakin Central in Johor, whereby few company which is contributing like 300,000 ringgit, 200,000 ringgit, because they have that capacity. But for the individual person like us, I mean, we don't have that much of money. Okay, so it have to be a collaboration between the individual Waqf and also the company or the entity which have that awareness to contribute for the good of the society. Okay, because sometimes this company, they may have their mission in their company, which is to help, okay, the public and the society, and they also may want to contribute, but again, in terms of the transparency and the effectiveness of the Waqf manager is still needed, okay, so that it can get trust from the people and also from the big company to contribute to that project. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Asma. Next question, question number 6 is from Khalid Nur Aldin. I think this one is for Prof. Raditya. What are your recommendations to revive Waqf, especially in Muslim majority countries outside Indonesia and Malaysia? How can the practice in Malaysia and Indonesia could be extended to non-Muslim majority countries as well? Prof. Raditya?
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Khalid. Actually, if you want to introduce Waqf to the non-Muslim countries, actually, they have the similar product like Waqf is endowment fund, right? So once they know endowment fund, they must understand what Waqf is. The only difference is that the Waqf has a spiritual dimension, right? Endowment fund is, yes, the principal has to be kept and the proceed can be used for the social. So actually, when we want to introduce for the non-Muslim countries, then we can start by introducing that Waqf is similar with the endowment fund, but Waqf has been stressed as part of sedekah, as part of the charity in Islam and encouraged in Islam according to Surat Al-Baqarah that has been recited in early this conference. I think that's my answer.
And some other question from Khalid is how to revive the Waqf instrument in Muslim majority countries such as Pakistan, Egypt, Iraq, Kuwait, Qatar.
Well, yes, to revive, we need example, right? We need example that really we can clearly see that the profit out of the Waqf, productive Waqf, really can solve the problem. Let's say who wants to study in certain university, it's free because this university is supported by Waqf. So those kind of examples need to be in existence with the large quantity.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Aditya. Next question still to Prof. Aditya from Rubaya Yaakob. How the cash Waqf can be used as cooperative loan? Because you mentioned in the beginning that the Waqf fund with the Waqf institution collaborate with the cooperative for fishermen.
Yes, let me just draw my, okay. Here in Indonesia, the BMT or Islamic Cooperative, right, as a Nazir, they legally can raise cash Waqf, right? But this BMT has to, because this BMT wants to utilize the cash Waqf productively, then this BMT has to choose very, very much less risk kind of project. Try to select among all the projects that will be financed by this BMT, try to choose the less risk, right? The least risk, right? And of course, the BMT can get profit out of this project, and the profit, right? The contract BMT with this project can be in many kind of Islamic contract, murabahah can, or musyarakah can, right? Mudorobah can. So once this BMT can create profit, right? I suggest that all the profit is not going to Mawquf Alai. Don't send all the profit goes to for Mawquf Alai. Rather, allocate some portion, right, for the one like in Larkin for reinvestment, and some other for the reserve for what? Reserve for in the future, if this BMT, when they use a cash Waqf to a certain project and the project fail, that reduce the principal of the cash Waqf, then this BMT can get this reserve to cover up the losses from this project. So BMT can use the cash Waqf for financing. That's my answer, Pak Bayu.
Okay, thank you. Next question, still to Prof. Raditya from Maswin. Why you combine Waqf and insurance? This question, I think, related to Sharia compliant issues. So, because,
yes,
yeah.
It's not the conventional. This takaful company is an Islamic insurance. So that's my answer. It's not the conventional. Conventional cannot create a Waqf program, right? That's
Okay.
my simple answer. Yeah.
Okay. So next question for both speakers from Dumala. So what do you think about Islamic mutual fund in order to collect more cash wakaf? What is the pros and cons to use this instrument or scheme in Malaysia and Indonesia? Islamic mutual fund to gain more cash wakaf. Maybe Prof. Asma first to answer this question.
Okay, so I think it is workable. It depends on how you design the model. Meaning, are you design the model of the unit trust by all the fund that being bought and then will be made as wakaf, totally made as wakaf, or you only make as a wakaf from the dividend received. Okay, so it depends on which model that you are going to propose, but I think it is workable. Okay, and again in Malaysian context, they have to go through Securities Commission to get approval, and also yeah, this is the governance wise it have to go through the regulator first to get the approval.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Asma. Next from Prof. Aditya, your answer.
Yeah, Ibu Kumala, thank you for your questions. With regard to mutual fund company with the cash wakaf, first thing in terms of the institutions, we need to settle first about who will be the Nazir. Is it the foundations? Because the company, I think, cannot be a Nazir. If like a Sendirian Berhad or PT, right? The company, the private limited company, cannot be a Nazir. They can be a partner, yes. Partner of the Nazir, yes. So if a Nazir, let's say Dompet Wafa or maybe other private Nazir, have an arrangement with this company, mutual fund company, can. But the structures, how is the structures? If this company manage mutual fund, which is Waqf, and then the profit out of the mutual fund obtained used for Mawquf Alai, I think that can also. We need to talk more about this after this.
Okay, thank you. Next question, we still have some questions here from Suresh Kumar from Pakistan. So he asked about there are few ways in Takaful to promote the Islamic insurance through Wakala, Mudoroba, and Waqaf. And as we know in Takaful, the fund only for the members of the pool fund. So how to connect it with the social welfare or to social fund? What do you think, Prof. Aditya and Prof. Asma? Maybe from Prof. Aditya.
Yes, thank you. Of course, if they are not in a group, then they cannot be getting benefit. However, if you there's a possibility that those who are not in a group can get the benefit, provided that the charity is given by those who are in the group, right? So those who are in the group is kind enough to give donations to those who are not in the group. Otherwise, we can arrange like this. Those who are in the group, who are well enough, who are rich enough, they donate regularly for those who are not in the group for a premium for the Takaful company. So since those who are not in the group is maybe poor, they cannot afford to pay regularly the premium for the Takaful company, this premium, regular premium, will be borne by the rich person. That can be done, right? So that's my answer.
Okay, maybe a response from Prof. Asma for this question.
regarding why people who are not in the group will not get benefit from the takaful, even though takaful are using the tabarruk or using the wakaf. So we have to understand that when takaful is based on, yeah, it use tabarruk, but still there are elements of um, obligation, meaning when we participate in takaful, give us the comfort that they are obliged to pay us when, or to give us the compensation when there are misfortune happen to us. So that's why how much we have to contribute to this tabarruk fund being calculated based on the pricing of the um, possibility of misfortune may happen, okay, based on, for example, the mortality rate and the morbidity rate. So if we want to give this money to those who are not in the fund or who are not in the group, for example, if, for example, this money has been used to pay who are not in the group and the money is not enough, and when misfortune happen to those who are in the group, where does the takaful operator will get this money? So that's why they have to um, ensure that people who are in the group who will get the financial assistance, because this group have commit, okay, to help each other. And for those who are not in the group, if they are in need of money and they cannot pay this premium, there is another channel for them, which is they can go to get zakat. So there are another body which can help and assist this group who cannot pay the takaful but in need of this money. And again, I mean, the zakat fund is also from those who are wealthy, okay, and pay zakat. And of course, if they are in debt, poor and needy, even though they are not paying takaful, they can get financial assistance from zakat body. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Asma. We still have two more final questions before we close our webinar. So, from Dodi Abdul Ghani, I think this one is for both speakers and Dr. Sokat. So the question is how to make Waqf home and when to start. I think maybe this one is Waqf institution. And from Dr. Shokat is how to, can Waqf constitute educational institution? So first is about how to establish Waqf home or institution and when to start, and how Waqf constitute the educational institution. I think Prof. Aditya maybe can answer.
Yes, Waqf home, I do not really understand about the structure of the Waqf home, but it is like this. Waqf can be a temporary, can be a permanent, right? So if you have extra houses, right? If you are rich enough, you have your own houses and you have second and third houses, and you want to do a charity. So your second or your third houses can be rented out, and the profit profit obtained, used for mawquf alayh. That can be done. So because the second and the third houses you are not utilizing, and you want to do a charity, you can treat as a cash waqaf, sorry, not cash waqaf, as a waqaf, so that the profit out of it, the rental fees, can be distributed for waqaf. Wherever to start, I don't understand. Maybe, okay, it is like this. It is not only that you have the physical asset to be treated as wakaf, not necessarily physical asset. You can do, let's say you have a brother, you have uncles, right? They can, let's say that your uncle is a medical doctor, where they do a general practice every day, right? You can ask your uncle to donate wakaf on a certain date. Let's say okay, your uncle declared that I will wakaf my expertise on every Fridays. So on every Fridays, your uncle keeps doing general practices, medical practices, and you charge the patients. But when you get the money, it is not yours. You will use your money for Mawquf Alai, right? So that can be done also. Service can be done. Okay, that's my answer, Pak Bayu.
Okay, and how can Waqf constitute the educational institution?
I cannot answer because I don't know the meaning of this questions, but I think educational institutions means like university based on Waqaf.
Yes,
Well,
probably like a free tuition fee from the
yes,
Waqf management.
the example is like in the Al-Azhar University in Egypt, whereby I'm sure that you have friends who are students there. You can ask your students, I mean, you can ask your friends, do they pay for their tuition fees? Do they pay for all the education expenses? I believe they don't pay anything. Even transportations from the host country to Egypt, they will give they will bear the transportation expenses because Egypt is supported by the agriculture sector, which is based on Waqf. That's my.
Okay, okay, thank you. Maybe from Prof. Asma, your response, please.
In the home wakaf that like mentioned by Prof. Radit, yeah, it can be started with cash wakaf or even by the health. Okay, meaning the wakif are giving home as the wakaf. Okay, and and for educational purposes, I think we in Malaysia, I think in Indonesia also, we have many pesantren which is based on wakaf. Either, for example, the land is the wakaf land, and even then there are another initiative being done to raise more money on this wakaf for education. And in Malaysia, for example, under the Ministry of Higher Education, it is required for all the higher educational institution in Malaysia, like I mentioned earlier, to have wakaf unit or to raise wakaf. Okay, and it become initiative whereby the university take that as a serious matter. So, like in the wakaf unit is under our Vice Chancellor, under our Bendahari. Okay, and in other university, for example, in University Putra Malaysia, I mean they have millions of wakaf collection where they use this money after they invest, they do some project, they give the return as a scholarship to the students. Okay, so I think this is what has been done in terms of the pondok or pesantren. There are many pesantren or pondok which is based on wakaf in Malaysia, and then but then it has to be complemented by the zakat in order to running the educational institution, especially pondok. They get zakat fund, okay, to pay for the salary of the teachers, and also sometimes for um, build in their infrastructure. Okay, this is the combination of wakaf and zakat also. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Asma. Alhamdulillah, we have covered all questions. Actually, there is one more question for Suresh Kumar, but I think this one has been addressed by Prof. Aditya. So, how to promote wakaf in non-Muslim countries? You can explain the wakaf similar to endowment fund, right? So, Prof. Aditya, I think, has been addressed this question or this issue because in the non-Muslim they use the endowment fund. So use the same way to promote endowment fund. Okay, Alhamdulillah. Thank you for the both speakers, Prof. Asma and Prof. Raditya. for the wonderful presentation to us today. And I hope that you got many insights and also knowledge from both speakers. And we also still have more webinar series hosted by Islamic Economic Department, Erlangga. And thank you as well for all participants for following our rules and makes our webinar seminar smooth. And we still have more information from committee. I think with that I end, and I will return to Indri Supriyani for more information about certificate or next webinar series. Thank you, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Pak Bayu. Dear audience, we are already reached the final section from this webinar. Thank you in advance for the speakers, for Professor Dr. Asma Abdurrahman and Professor Raditya Sukmana for giving such informative and comprehensive presentation regarding the Waqf innovation in Malaysia and Indonesia. And also much obliged to Mr. Bayu for moderating the excellent webinar, and also to all of the participants who actively participate in this webinar. We have received numerous questions today, and hopefully this first webinar series will be beneficial for all of us today. Amen. And then the e-certificate as the participant will be sent to your email within 7 days. And please wait for the upcoming events, which will be informed via the WhatsApp group. So make sure you don't leave the group. Okay, for all the participants, please give the outstanding applause for speakers, the moderator, and for all of you. And at the end, I'm Indri Supriyani as the master of the ceremony today, and also as the committee for this program. Beg your pardon of the mistake we have made. Thank you. See you in the next series of webinar. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
See you in the
Okay,
next
thank
webinar.
you. Next webinar.
Thank you very much. Enough. Good.